From the Detroit Free Press in the heart of the Motor City, it's Friday, November 20th. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Bush's has over 4,000 Michigan products, including the freshest fruit and vegetables, meat, seafood, and baked goods. Stop by one of Bush's 16 locations for the personal service you expect from your neighborhood grocer.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Darcy Moran. One man of 14 facing charges in a plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer isn't in the state yet, and he might not get here anytime soon if his lawyer has anything to say about it. 52-year-old Brian Higgins of Wisconsin is accused of providing night vision goggles and mounting a camera in his vehicle to record while surveying the governor's home. He faces extradition, but his lawyer argues that Michigan messed up. See, request to have a person extradited for a crime from one state to another is done governor to governor, and it was Whitmer who signed the paperwork. Attorney Christopher Van Wagner says that's a problem. She's the victim. He'll make his argument in December, but should he lose, he's already planned an appeal, with conditions his client stay put while it's considered. The Michigan Attorney General's office has called the effort transparent, saying the governor simply followed procedure. A spokesman called it, quote, nothing more than an attempt to delay Michigan's pursuit of justice, unquote. The 13 other men have all already appeared in state and federal courts in Michigan. They, too, face court dates before the end of the year. For more on this story from reporter Joe Guillen and myself, check out freep.com.
I'm Susan Tompor, and I'm a columnist with the Detroit Free Press. The financial struggles that many families have faced during the pandemic remain very real, but it may help to try to look beyond 2020. A team of economists at the University of Michigan see some positive signs for next year if a vaccine is widely available by summer. The much-watched University of Michigan forecast calls for the real gross domestic product to rise by 4.2% in 2021. That would leave the recession of 2020 in the rearview mirror. Real GDP is expected to decline by 3.6% year-over-year in 2020, according to many economists. Much will depend on the vaccine and the depth of any economic fallout this winter because of spikes in COVID-19 cases. The U of M forecast calls for good news for auto sales and housing in 2021. Some clouds remain, though. Job gains could continue to be slow in the hard-hit service sector. Overall, though, progress on the vaccine front could translate into a solid rebound for jobs and pocketbooks in 2021, according to the University of Michigan forecast.
This is Free Press editorial page editor Brian Dickerson. Donald Trump has invited Michigan's Republican legislative leaders to the White House Friday. House Speaker Lee Chatfield and Senate Majority Leader Mike Shirkey aren't saying what's on the president's mind, but some voters are worried Trump might be trying to enlist the pair in a coup. Chatfield and Shirkey shouldn't go anywhere near the Oval Office, not until Trump stops shrieking that Michigan's election was fraudulent. They should tell the president they're busy, or at least they expect to be, very soon as deer season is over, and legislators can get down to the urgent business of stopping Governor Gretchen Whitmer before she makes any more progress slowing the pandemic. Because Whitmer's success would be very bad, even for Republicans who didn't lose the election. It's one thing for a defeated president to slander our state. It's another thing entirely for our state's ranking Republican elected leaders to amplify his paranoid fantasies.
This is Free Press Sports Editor Chris Thomas. Are you tired yet, Detroit Pistons fans? I can't blame you if you are. What started as a quiet week for the franchise picked up steam when the Pistons traded Bruce Brown to the Brooklyn Nets on Monday, in a transaction that feels like a lifetime ago. The pace picked up even more Wednesday, when the franchise made a flurry of moves on draft night, including trading Luke Kennard to pick up 2 additional first-round picks, along with a second-round pick. And it continued Thursday, when the franchise traded Tony Snell and Kyrie Thomas to Atlanta in a cap space clearing move. Like I said, it's okay to be tired. Yes, the Pistons roster looks completely different today than it did just 1 week ago. So much so that Blake Griffin, who was acquired by the franchise in January 2018, is the longest tenured Piston on the roster. And now he'll be surrounded by a flurry of rookies in point guard Killian Hayes, center Isaiah Stewart, and a steal of a forward in Sadiq Bey. 3 players who have been lauded for their upside and two-way capabilities. The overhaul has been intense, and it might get more intense from here as the Pistons and general manager Troy Weaver open free agency tonight at 6 p.m. The first order of business is making a decision on re-signing Christian Wood after his breakout season of 2020. But there are other moves to be made. Today on Freep.com, Amari Sankofa II breaks down the top free agent targets for the Pistons during the free agency period. Subscribe today on Freep.com to find out who made the list.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out Freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to Freep.com/special offer.